Hello, hello, and welcome to your all new Sidecar Show It website template. We are so excited to see what you do with this design. I think it's one of our most adaptable, super cool, minimal designs that we've ever released, and I am very excited about it. So if you've never used Show It before, I want to start by giving you a little bit of a lay of the land and some places to get started. If you have not seen our Getting Started page, I highly recommend opening this page. It's just tonicsiteshop.com/getting started, and it's going to walk you through some of the best practices for working with your Tonic website. You also will find our Tonic prep guide, some conversion copywriting strategies, how to plan and write your website content, and then lots of tools for using Show It. So with regard to using Show It, they have an incredibly well-built Show It resource library. So there are a few different ways to find it. If you go to learn.showit.co, this is basically their entire tutorial archive. There's over 300 help docs, and they're super thorough and well-written, and it's organized by the kind of tutorial that you might want to need. So getting started, building your site, building your blog, SEO, domains and hosting, how to launch, all of that will be taken care of in this archive. The second thing that you might find helpful is there is a collection of videos if you go to showit.com/learn, and you can watch basically each one of these videos. It'll take you less than 30 minutes, and it's going to cover all the basics of getting started with Show It. And if you're more of a course person than a video person, then you can do the Show It course. So if you go to training.showit.co, then you can learn how to use Show It like a pro, as it promises. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be focused more on getting started with Show It, but then also just understanding your design. So let's get a little bit of the lay of the land, shall we? When you first log into Show It, you're going to see this interface right here. And it's going to feel a little bit like using Photoshop, I think, because there's a little bit of a learning curve, but as soon as you get comfortable, it all really makes a lot of sense. So let's just kind of work clockwise here and talk through what you have on your screen. First of all, in the top left-hand corner, you have your site settings. So this is where you're going to set your site name. You're going to connect your domain, upload settings, your favicon, connect your blog, set up your Google Analytics, and then link your socials. So all of that is going to be done in the site settings. In your design settings, this is where you're going to do the visual setup of your site. So I suggest basically playing around with things a little bit before you completely dive into changing all the fonts and colors. Get an audit of your site done first. Look through, try some things, but this is where you're going to get in and you can set the fonts and colors of your design. Now, Show It recently changed this interface. It's a lot easier to use now. And you can see there's this kind of accordion style settings thing here where you can navigate between the different settings and then change the different fonts and colors on both mobile and desktop. So you can see we've already set these here. I highly recommend before you change any colors to just take a quick screenshot of this palette like so. Because if you ever want to get the colors back, then you'll have all of the hex codes that you need instead of being like, oh crap, what was that gray? Next, after your site style, in this little tab, you have your fonts. So these are the fonts that come included with your design. And then you can also choose from any Google font or upload a custom font. All you have to have is a font with a WAF file type. Then you'll add that to your media library, and then it'll show right here, just like our many, many, many fonts do. So after that, we have site settings, design settings, and then we have the media library. This right here is your media library. It's probably going to look very empty right now, and we suggest starting by uploading your photos. You can organize them in terms of brand assets, wedding photos. You can upload particular galleries. We have suggestions for that in the content prep guide you have on the Getting Started page. So check that out first. We suggest submitting your images and uploading them at a size of 3,500 on the long side. And then I always run ours through tinyjpeg.com just to further compress them a little bit without losing quality, just to make sure that they load super fast. Show It does compress images, but it doesn't do quite as much as tinyjpeg. So we do that before we upload images to our site so that it loads quickly. Now let's take a look at what you have on the left-hand side. These are all of the pages that are included with the Sidecar design. So home, about, and then you have all of these alternate pages right here. Detail simple, portfolio simple, etc. that are optional pages. You can use these as sub pages of your design. You can use them in other ways as you would like. So don't feel like you need to delete anything that you don't use. You can also just do something like this. Title it unused and move it down to the bottom of your site so it's not obtrusive. So you can do that at any point with any of the designs. So you have your list of pages, and that's what the section is right here. So you can browse through all of those. Now on each page, if you click right here, you'll see a list of the sections of each page. Show refers to these as canvases. So some of these canvases have sub-canvases in them right here called canvas views, where this is like how this top image changes between background colors. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But these are the different sections of your site. And so you can browse through and see what's included on each part of your site. You can also move these sections around, drag and drop them. You can also change the height of the sections, make them shorter or taller, or expand the space, which you might need to do if you change out images. So that is everything on this left-hand side. As you scroll down here, you're going to see your actual blog templates. So these are going to interface directly with WordPress, and we'll cover more about that in the blog tutorial. Now on this bottom left-hand side, you have your design settings right here, your site designs. You can see your account, subscription, your site designs, etc. And then you have your mobile and desktop views. I suggest keeping mobile open for the entirety of the time that you're designing, because it's really easy to just customize everything on desktop and then be like, oh crap, now I've got to do mobile. So if you customize things as you go, you're going to notice that some things change, like this one. See the text says hi, and images will change, but you can also disconnect images if you don't want them to change. So for example, if I change this one right here, this one is set to be this on mobile. Okay, so I can have images that are different, or like down here, this images is set to be the same. And so if I change it, it's the same. To make it independent, I would just need to set it right here. So you can click media type to make that change. So after that, you also have your guides here to show your column guides, center guides, anything that you need in terms of guides, and then just your zoom tools. After that, you have your text tools right here. So this is where you can create headings, subheadings that are going to follow the different font stylings of your template. I personally suggest just copying and pasting headings that you already have. So for example, if you wanted to create a blank page, just copy and paste settings that you already have, because then it's already going to be pretty close on mobile and you don't have to start from scratch. So that's the best practice that I recommend. Then after that, you have icons. This show it has a ton of icons that are actually included. They're always expanding that. And then you can also grab icons, embed code if you need to embed something, video, galleries, a social grid, and more. And then you have another link to your media library in case you needed to access your images. Then it's nice and convenient on the bottom of the screen. So then on the right-hand side, as you're getting started here, you're going to note that when you click on something, well, let's start by clicking on nothing. When I don't click on anything, I see basically only information about these pages. So this is the page info. This is the page title. This is the page background color. Any animations that are set, your SEO settings. This is really important. You'll want to set your homepage title and meta description. You can add a share image so that when you send someone a link, it's beautiful. And then your advanced settings. This is where you might find custom CSS or JavaScript or anything like that, which you won't need with this design unless you want to add something. Now, if I click on something, so for example, if I click on this piece of text, you're going to see properties on this right-hand side that specifically relate to the text. So you can see that this is a subheading right here. I could change it to a heading if I wanted, like so. You can change the fonts and colors independently. And then the other things that you can do with these, with text boxes or any object, is you'll see text properties. You can make sure that something is sized correctly or even. They're really cool alignment tools right here that will make sure stuff is centered. And then you're also going to see your click actions. Now, click actions in Show It is just one more word for the word link. So if you're going to link something, all you have to do is you just click on an object or a shape or a piece of type. Then you go to click actions and then you set your link. It can go to a different page, external URL, a canvas, wherever you would like. So for example, this one is set to go to the portfolio page, which is good. That's correct. The other thing that you're going to see whenever you select an object is a background. So this image right here is a canvas background. So this image is filling up the entire canvas. And so you'll see when I click this canvas, it says canvas background. And this is where I can change that canvas background to any color or any image I like. You can also change it to video. Very easy. That looks awesome. So you can change these to videos, and all you have to have is any video file that is under 8 megabytes. So we're going to get rid of that and go back to our image. So all I have to do here is select image, and there we go. So those are the different things that you can basically click on and find properties about. Everything else is going to be stuff that's really more related to how you customize your template. So let's just look at Sidecar just in general here. I want to just take a look at how it's set up. So right now, basically what is set is all of the main links to your different parts of your template go to the main pages that we have set. So for example, in this menu right here, you can link to this main about page. Now, I want to talk about this for a second because you may notice that this canvas has these weird diagonal lines. And what that means is that this is called a site canvas, which essentially is just any canvas that's global for your entire design. That means that if you edit it here, it's going to change everywhere. So for example, just say that I decide I want to use this other page. And you could name this whatever you want. You can name it just, about Jennifer, if that's your name, or meet Sidecar, whatever it is, that will change the actual URL of the website. So here you would just click about, and then you would select that page instead. And everywhere that you had that page would be this canvas, it would change. There are a few other site canvases on this design. For example, this footer is also a site canvas. And then as we get to the blog in a few minutes, you'll notice that there are a lot of site canvases there. And some of these calls to action are as well. So whenever you change those, you're going to change it everywhere. So just keep that in mind. Now, the home page is pretty straightforward to customize. You're just going to plug in your text and your images. Just keep in mind that you can make these different things link to wherever you want. So this can go to a blog post. It can be all about your information, whatever you would like it to be. Just keep in mind that your template is really just a template for your best usage. So if you need to hide something and you say, okay, wait a second, I don't have that content, feel free to do so. So let's take, for example, I decided I want to hide this our approach section because I don't know what I'm going to put there yet. All I have to do is go to the about page, and I'm going to scroll down to the approach. And if I hit these 3 buttons, I'm going to see some very cool options. So I can say that it's visible just on mobile, and I can hide it altogether. The other thing that you can do that's very cool is you can hide only specific objects. So if I decided, for example, we don't need this to say about Sidecar, I don't know why this is not working. Typically it works very well. We'll take my word for it. There must be a weird bug happening, but normally you can toggle on and off different objects, whether they're on desktop or mobile. So you can definitely hit mobile or desktop to ensure that it's visible just in the place that you want. I think you're going to love customizing this design. I think it's going to be one of the easier ones that we have to get started with. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know. And in our next tutorial, I'm going to walk you through how to set up your portfolio pages and then onto the blog. So if you get stuck, please just remember that you can always reach out to our friends at Show It right here. They have an amazing support chat. You can talk to Trevor or Parker or Adria or any number of our really good friends over at Show It. Let them know that we sent you. And you can also reach out to us at support@tonicsiteshop.com. Can't wait to see what you make with this template. I'll see you in a few minutes for the portfolio tutorial.